for all those that want to be part of the conscious community, for all you young-minded people that are trying to find an identity, that are trying to find your identity, and that see the conscious community as something positive, something that you want to be a part of. You don't want to join any gangs. You don't want to be a criminal. You don't want to be part of the system. Excuse me. You don't want to be like your mother and your father. You go to work for the man. You want to make a difference in your life just as well as in others. You want to take down corporations such as Monsanto. You want to heal the world. You want to educate the world. You want to educate black people and tell them how great they are. I understand. You see, I mean, believe it or not, I used to be young. And I had that same type of state of mind. You see, these problems that, you're seeing in the world, they are ongoing problems, meaning that they have been going on and on for eons, centuries upon centuries upon centuries. This is nothing new. I understand, you just now, getting into the information. You just now reading Lo Behold the Pale Horse, the ISIS papers, some Dr. York's comic books, the lessons by the 5%ers. I know you're getting into, Dr. Ivan von Sadmer. Looking at Marcus Garvey documentaries, Malcolm X. I get it. I understand it. I get it. I know you all into Polite and Young Pharaoh and Sinetta. I get it. I understand it completely. But what I'm trying to tell you, young-minded people as well as old-minded people that want to be part of the conscious community, listen, take that application and rip the fuck up. Rip it the fuck up. Turn your back towards the conscious community and walk the fuck out. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just the truth. Have you ever heard or seen anybody that's part of the conscious community wealthy? Have you ever heard or seen anyone that's part of the conscious community pretty much, good? I mean, like living like really, really good. Good enough to the point where they can employ others. No. Dr. Ben died at an old folks' home. Broke. The family couldn't even afford to pay for his own funeral. For his funeral. Dr. Martin Luther King, shot in the head, dead. Malcolm X, shot in front of his children, dead. Marcus Garvey, exiled out of the United States of America, spelled with 3 Ks. You tell me what leader or what person that's part of the conscious community, and I know what y'all gonna say, Dr. Martin Luther King wasn't part of the conscious, but he was a black leader, y'all. So I'm gonna include him in it. You tell me any motherfucking body that's part of the conscious community that's wealthy. You know what the end result is? It's no disrespect towards him. And if he takes it to be, if he's offended by it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to kick it to the youth. It's just that plain and simple. You know what the end result is going to be? If you continue to follow the conscious community, you'll be outside with Sinetta, grade the fuck up in your 60s. With a table, still making YouTube videos. And it's no disrespect to his success, but his success, he's reached his peak. He's not going any further. Let me make it personal. You know what I'm saying? Let me make it personal. You want to end up like me? I follow the conscious community damn near all my fucking life. And look what the fuck I got. Nothing. Take your black ass, take your white ass, because some of y'all are part of the white people, are part of the conscious community as well. Take your Indian ass, take your Mexican, because some Mexican, Indian, all races are part of the conscious community. I mean, it's predominantly black, but it's still people of other races that's part of the conscious community. Take your asses back to motherfucking school. Because see, I dropped out. And my plan was to be part of the conscious community without no 401k plan, no health insurance, no type of benefits. This is what I'm trying to tell you. There are no benefits towards the conscious community. There's none. What's the purse tool? You want to wear dashiki? Nigga, you could buy a dashiki on your own. What's the purse tool? You want to wear ankle? You could, all those uniforms that they got, you could buy that shit on your own. You could get somebody to sew that shit. You could sew an ankle on your fucking shirt if all you want to do is just have a fucking uniform and talk that black shit. You could do that shit on your own. Other than that, take your black ass back to school, to college, and graduate. Get yourself a degree. And if you don't want to work for the man, open up your own business. And I know what y'all about to say. Y'all about to say, oh, well, we do know some conscious community, some people that's in the conscious community that own their own business. And you're correct. But they did it on their what? Own. The conscious community didn't teach them that shit. They took their black ass to school. They have a trade. They did that shit on their own. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I wasted a lot of fucking time in my life following this conscious community shit. And it was to no avail. None. It's no disrespect to the Nation of Islam, but y'all talking about the conscious community. Listen, let me square it with you. The Nation of Islam is not part of the conscious community. They are a religious group. They worship Jesus, God, Allah, all of the fictitious people that was in the past. That's who they worship. The Nubian Nation is not a part of the conscious community. They are a religious group as well. They worship Anu the Most High, the All, as well as Amanubi Rakbata, and the list goes on of the names that that was self-given to Dr. Malachi Z.york. The 5%ers are part of the conscious community, and I really don't have nothing bad to say about them. It's two things. It's not really bad. The first thing is that they need to update their lessons. And the second thing is, in order for there to be more 5%ers, you're going to have to, because you deal with actual facts, right? You're going to have to change the percentile. So, Clarence 13X formed this group, if I'm not mistaken, in the 70s, 60s, 70s, right? So, the 5% were the ones that know. The 10% are I don't want to fuck it up. All I know is the 5% is the ones that's the teachers. And the 10% is the ones that rule the world, right? And the 85% are the deaf, dumb, and blind, right? So, let me get you to understand this. If y'all been teaching for like 30 years, shouldn't the 5%, the leaders, shouldn't that have increased to 10%? And shouldn't the deaf, dumb, and blind decrease to 75% or 65%? If you understand where I'm coming from. Because y'all are teaching, so that means that throughout the years, the numbers of the deaf, dumb, and blind should have decreased. And the numbers of teachers that were the 5% should have increased. And the 10% should have lessened or died out. Because that would have shown that y'all were doing your job properly. Other than that, how is it that there's still 5% for 30 years going on? 5% of the gods and goddesses. How is it that for 30 years it's still 90% that are deaf, dumb, and blind, 85% that's deaf, dumb, and blind? I don't understand that. So I don't really have a problem with y'all outside of that, because you all say that y'all are gods, and you're not being in control. Nobody controls you all, and that's the great part about it. That means that you could be whatever you want to be. You could do whatever you want to do in life, just as long as it's right and exact with you. And I get that. I'm good. I'm good. That's a check off. I'm gravy. If I ever were to be part of the conscious community again, I would be a 5%. Because basically you could do what you want to do. Other than that, the rest of this shit is nothing but fucking cults and religious groups and shit like that. The Moors, they talking about this is their land and they sovereign and all the rest of that. And listen, y'all can talk all of that bullshit y'all want. Y'all worship Dr. Noble Drew Ali. Period. It's just that plain and simple. Y'all thinking that this man gonna come back. Just like the Rastafarians think that Haile Selassie's coming back. And that's just far from the furthest truth. And far as dealing with the Rastafarian community, I really don't have too much of a problem with them either. But they're religious as well, because they read the Holy Bible and they believe in Haile Selassie being the kings of kings and lords of lords. But I really don't have no problem with that, with them. If I were to be part of the conscious community, again, I would be a 5% and a Rastafarian. And I guess you would say all for the wrong reasons, because being a Rastafarian, I could smoke all day. Being a 5%, I could do what the fuck I want to do, because I'm God. Walk away. Walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away. Take your black ass back to school. If you're not going back to school, going to college, whatever, you don't know what the fuck you want to do, get you a 9 to motherfucking 5 until you figure it out. Other than that, this conscious community is a dead end. You ever motherfucking went down the road and you saw that yellow sign and it said dead end road? And your stupid ass still went down the road? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You already see the end results. I'm already telling you. So why would you drive down that fucking dead end road? You want to see it for yourself? You want to be, at my age, talking the same dumb shit in front of a camera? In the near future? That sounds real intelligent. No, it doesn't. I'm damn near your elder. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Let me tell you something. I thought about this shit, right? My family, we are generational Christians, right? So I've seen throughout my generations, my great-grandmother believing in Jesus, my grandmother believing in Jesus, my mother believing in Jesus, and then I stopped, right? So that's 3 generations, if I'm not mistaken. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother, right? And my great-grandmother died believing in Jesus. My grandmother is about to die believing in Jesus. And my mother, may she live out her years abundantly. In abundance. I hope that she lives to be 100. I hope she lives to be 120. But she's gonna die believing in Jesus. And guess what? Think about it. That nigga ain't never fucking came back. Let me explain something to you, right? You know when you go to a customer service desk, like take for example, Target. You go to Target, right? You go to customer service desk and you want to return something, right? The customer service, the cashier says, "Hi, how you doing, sir? What can I do for you?" You're like, I want to return this camera because it's fucked up and I want my money back, right? She'll say, "Okay, well, hold on for a second. Let me talk to the manager and I'll get back with you." She goes to the manager, you see her talking, and she's spending like 10, 20 minutes, and you running out of time. You impatient. You not so much that you're impatient, it's just like, yo, time is money. You gotta go, you gotta do what you gotta do. So she comes back and she says, "Excuse me, sir, I apologize for you waiting that long, but I'm still consulting the manager about, your camera being messed up, and we're gonna get to the bottom line of this," right? She goes back and talks to the manager. Did Jesus do that? Jesus can't even give you good customer service. He left and he couldn't even come back to say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna come back. I know y'all been patiently waiting for me, but sooner than later, I'm gonna come back." Just like that cashier said when she came back to me and said, "Yo, excuse me, I'm still consulting the manager." Jesus could have said, "I'm coming back. I know y'all patiently waiting, but I'm still consulting God, in heaven. He didn't do that. Fuck all religions. Fuck the conscious community. I, say it with me. It's about me. It's about you. It ain't about shit else. Nothing. Make sure that your health is in line. Make sure you're eating the right foods, alkaline foods. Make sure that you're working out. Take care of you. And fuck everybody else. If anybody would have asked me who was my master teacher, I would say Dr. Sebi. That's it. Because he can teach me something about my health. Period. Love yourself. And stop wanting to be a part of something. My name is Langston2092. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And definitely subscribe to my new channel called Long Live Langston. Have a good motherfucking day.